Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and, well, of course, others who shall remain nameless. You know exactly who you are, and I love you all.
In any case, here we are on the balcony, and it is a beautiful morning. Welcome to the balcony. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. What is wrong with right-wingers these days? I mean, it used to be conservatives wanted to conserve something, usually traditions, some of which were even good traditions, but now they're not about conserving anything. They're about destroying. They're about tearing down. They're about demolishing. And they've embraced everything that was wrong with liberalism. The notion that the earth exists as a limitless pool of resources for us to exploit for profit. This was an integral part of liberalism 100 years ago. Now it's what people who call themselves conservative value and cherish. And at a time when liberals have figured out that no, it's not a limitless resource for us to exploit. It's a very limited resource. Conservatives have taken up the notion of the limitless world, the limitless resources, and the exploitation thereof. They're not trying to conserve anything. They're just trying to destroy everything. Everything. And that is very sad and disturbing. It is. It's very sad and disturbing. In any case. Oh, wow. What is with the right wing? Why are conservative politicians so hell-bent on allying us with the very worst of enemies? Why are they doing so much to undermine us as a country? And more disturbingly, why has the Liberal Party shifted heavily to the right to occupy the place of the old conservatives, the old small c, Joe Clark, John A. Macdonald conservatives? Why have the Liberals done this? Why have the Conservatives gone from God, King and Country to USA? Yeah. And why are the Liberals now sitting in the Conservative seat, as it were? Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister, legitimately elected, was elected on the promise that he was a liberal. He has good hair. He has a personality. He's not deathly boring. He's intelligent, educated, able to tie his own shoes, which is a vast improvement over his immediate predecessor, Stephen Harper, who was, dumb as a bucket of hammers and needed to wear loafers. Yeah. At the end of the day, Trudeau is not a liberal. Under the liberal shirt, there seems to be a very conservative heart, a Joe Clark conservative heart, but with charisma. He got the charisma from his father. Pierre Elliott Trudeau was, of course, one of the most charismatic leaders we've ever had. But his ideas are so Joe Clark. His economic policies, his social policies are very Joe Clark, very timid. It's like Joe Clark got all the superficial virtues of Pierre Trudeau, all the superficial character traits of Pierre Trudeau, minus the adultery, and came back to Parliament. But he's still Joe Clark. And the fact that I remember Joe Clark should tell you everything you need to know. Yeah. I remember Joe Clark. Joe who? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I remember. So, yeah. What has happened to the Conservatives to turn them into Republicans, and what has happened to the Liberals to turn them into Conservatives? And why am I looking for a socialist candidate to vote for? Do I need to actually run for office in order to have a socialist candidate to vote for? I'm beginning to think so. Certainly, we collectively, the workers, we need a socialist candidate. We need a socialist. We need a lot of socialists. And we don't have any. The Liberal Party is still comprised of the wealthy, privileged owners who still think that capitalism can be a force of good in the world. And the Conservatives are a bunch of wealthy managers who have figured out that capitalism is a force of absolute evil, but that they can make money off it, so god damn it, they're going to support it. And there's nobody who's willing to apply the brakes. Nobody who's willing to try to slow down the behemoth that is hurtling towards the disaster. Unrestricted capitalism is not a good thing, it's a bad thing. Any one of our current conservative leaders will tell you the same thing, and they'll smile and cheer for it. It's disturbing. It's deeply disturbing. It's deeply frustrating. And it's deeply concerning, especially for me, as a member of the proletariat, the working class. Not just the lack of a socialist candidate anywhere, but also the fact that proletariat voters, working class voters, are voting conservative. Why do my fellow workers vote conservative? Why do they vote against their own interests? Why do they vote for the people who are going to fuck them over? at every opportunity. Why? Why do they do this? And the answer is fear. Conservatives have figured out how to manipulate the proletariat through fear. They've learned how to scare us into voting for them. They've learned how to intimidate the worker into voting against the worker's own interest through fear. Fear. This is the conservative platform. Be afraid, vote for us, and we will protect you from the boogeyman. That's what the conservatives are offering. And the liberals are no better. The liberals have become classic conservatives. It's all very disturbing, very frustrating, and very irritating. Anyway, that's enough from me. All you good people out there, take care, be well, stay safe.